How excited are you to start training camp tomorrow?
I'm, it's out of the roof. I'm working on my game. I'm really confident in myself right now, so I'm ready to go out there. Everything is paid off. All the work, all the late nights, all the early mornings.
If his name wasn't James, nobody would be calling him a future rotation piece. Nobody would be pushing the long-term contributor narrative. There would be no constant cushion of benefit of the doubt analysis. At best, he would be labeled a developmental project in the G League. More realistically, he would be grinding just to stay attached to the system. That's not disrespect. That's how the league treats 99% of young players without a famous name. So here's the real question, and it's a fair one. Strip away the legacy. Strip away the spotlight. What specific part of his game right now clearly screams NBA level? Is it the scoring, the shot creation, the defensive instincts, the playmaking under pressure? Because when you study the film, you don't see one elite trait separating him from dozens of other fringe prospects fighting for a two-way deal. And before anyone gets emotional, this isn't hate. This is observation. This is tape. This is patterns stacking up over time. Basketball is not a storyline business. It's not a legacy inheritance program. It's a results league. You either impact winning or you don't. You either force coaches to keep you on the floor or you become situational at best. What makes this even louder is the double standard. The NBA constantly markets itself as a meritocracy. They talk about earning your spot. They talk about the best rise to the top. But when other young players struggle, the labels come fast. Inefficient, bad fit, can't defend, doesn't help winning, minutes disappear, opportunities dry up, careers stall.
From day one, it's been a lie. Like, kid missed double-digit games at USC, averaged 5 points a game after cardiac arrest. In any other world, he would return to school for another year. But not in LeBron's world. He couldn't wait to fulfill his little dream of playing with his son in the NBA.
But with Bronny, suddenly the tone softens. Suddenly it's about patience. Suddenly it's about growth. Even when he's getting attacked on defense, late on rotations, confused on switches, and ignored by opposing offenses because he's not viewed as a threat, the commentary stays gentle. He goes 1 for 12, and the broadcast treats it like a tragic learning chapter instead of what it is, a rough NBA performance in a league that rarely forgives rough performances. They sit there nodding, talking about confidence, about development, about learning moments. Learning moments. This isn't a training seminar, this is the NBA. There are grown men fighting for contracts, fighting to stay in the league, fighting to support their families. Every possession matters. Every missed opportunity costs somebody something. And the receipts are there. People openly said he could be a factor in the Lakers' rotation in year 2. Not a long-term project, not a stash, a factor. Meaning real minutes, real impact, real contribution. Media Day was full of confidence. I worked so hard this summer. That's great. Hard work matters. But in this league, effort alone doesn't secure a role. Production does. At the end of the day, this isn't about tearing someone down, it's about being honest. If the last name wasn't James, would we be having this same conversation with this same level of optimism? Or would we be evaluating him like every other young guard trying to prove he belongs? That's the real debate, and pretending it doesn't exist is doing nobody any favors. Late nights, early mornings, gave up Call of Duty, went vegan, dad turned the Wi-Fi off. Cool story. Great discipline montage. It sounds amazing in an interview. It plays perfectly in a documentary, but then the lights come on for the first preseason game, and it's 1 for 12. Real minutes, real scoreboard, same result. 1 for 12 again. At some point, the inspirational backstory can't carry the box score. There is no organized level of basketball, not the NBA, not the G League, not overseas, not the Drew League, not the YMCA, not even your local rec run, where you can shoot 1 for 12 and everyone just shrugs and says, yeah, keep firing, young king. That grace period does not exist for most players. It just doesn't. The only time that kind of patience shows up is when the last name is a billion-dollar brand. And let's be honest about how fans really think. You play 2K. Don't act like you don't. If someone jumps on the mic, goes 1 for 8 from 3, forces shots over triple teams, ignores wide-open teammates, and basically sells the game, what's the first thing you say?
Watch as he drives to the rim on 2 defenders, a 7-footer, but don't even look to hit the rope. This I know Bronny played 2K. 6 seconds into the shot clock, Bronny putting on his construction worker hat.
Take this play for example. The ball here is going to get driven toward the left block, but as it gets picked up, Bronny on the opposite wing should relocate, create a passing angle. That would either lead to an open three or a closeout. But look at how he just stays shifted up. Makes it easier for this defender to stay in the passing lane. And the Lakers from here get no advantage from that paint touch. So in terms of off the ball, Bronny's not a real threat.
You're not calm. You're not talking about growth. You're in the headset yelling, "Oh, brother, this guy stinks." You pause the game, you dashboard, you block them, you send that message telling them to uninstall. And don't pretend you wouldn't, because most people do. Mid-game accountability is real in that world. You mess up repeatedly, you're off the squad. Simple. But somehow when it's the NBA, that same energy disappears. Now it's patience. Now it's development. Now it's he's learning. Meanwhile, this is supposed to be a guard, a point guard, the position that demands feel, timing, awareness, control. The job description is simple. Read the floor, manage the pace, make the right play. Instead, you see possessions where 3 defenders collapse, and the decision is, you know what? I like my chances. Chances of what? A forced shot, a wild miss, a clip that gets replayed everywhere, a possession that ends in silence and frustration. That's not floor general energy, that's tunnel vision. Confidence is taking the right shot when it's there. Delusion is taking the wrong shot because you think the rules don't apply to you. And the uncomfortable question keeps hovering over everything. Not emotionally, not historically, not symbolically, basketball-wise. What does he do right now at an NBA level? Is it elite defense? Is it knockdown shooting? Is it advanced playmaking? Is it game control? Because at this level, you have to hang your hat on something. You have to give coaches a reason to trust you in tight games. You have to give teammates a reason to believe you'll make the right read. Nobody is saying a young player can't grow. Players improve all the time. But improvement starts with honest evaluation. And if the evaluation keeps getting filtered through a last name instead of production, that's not development, that's protection. So again, the question stands. If you remove the brand, remove the spotlight, remove the legacy, and just watch the tape, what part of the game clearly screams, he belongs here right now? That's not hate, that's accountability. And in a league built on results, accountability is supposed to matter. He can't shoot consistently. He doesn't lock people up on defense. He's undersized for the role he's supposed to play. He doesn't finish strong at the rim. He doesn't break down defenders off the dribble. He doesn't control the tempo. He doesn't create real advantages. He doesn't protect the ball like a true floor general. There isn't one clear elite skill you can point at and say, that's NBA ready right now. So what exactly are we doing here? Are we all just pretending? Are we committed to the storyline no matter what the tape shows? Because that's what it feels like. An internship packaged as a pro career. A make your dad proud side mission wrapped in league branding. And it's not only about missed shots, it's the body language. It's how opponents treat him on the court. Watch how teams guard him, or better yet, watch how they don't guard him. Defenders are standing 10 feet away, hands down, already turning their heads to find the real threat. They're practically inviting the shot. That's not fear, that's not respect, that's indifference. And in the NBA, indifference is louder than trash talk. When someone like Devin Booker is looking at you like, go ahead, shoot, that's not competitive tension. That's a scouting report come to life. The ultimate sign of disrespect isn't someone barking at you. It's someone not caring if you fire away. And when those wide open looks still miss loudly, that's when it starts to feel uncomfortable to watch.
No! Bronny, off a fake dribble handoff like this, I am always going under and meeting Grayson Allen on the other side. You go over like a dumbass and layup. Oh, all right. So Bronny James is absolute ass again at basketball. Bronny, can we please sprint back here so our back is turned and our feet are set so that when we're in help, we're going to stunt at the ball, we're going to be able to recover. Look at Bronny. Walk. Now my feet are going towards the ball on the kick out. This is just shoot around. What the fuck were you?
Then you hear the broadcast the first time he finally hits a three. Listen closely. It doesn't sound normal, it sounds relieved. Like everyone has been holding their breath for 3 quarters just waiting for something positive to say. He got one! And suddenly it feels like a mini parade is forming over a basic made shot. It's hard to watch with the volume up because the overpraise becomes overwhelming. And this isn't all on him. The Lakers share this, the coaching staff shares this, the front office shares this. At some point, somebody has to protect a young player from being overexposed. Somebody has to step in and say, this role isn't helping you right now. Instead, it looks like the green light is neon bright. Quick pull-ups early in the clock, drives into packed paint. Tough challenges over 7-footers like highlight attempts are mandatory. Brick after brick, and you can almost hear the rim echo through the broadcast. The bench reactions tell a quiet story too. Tight smiles, quick claps, eyes that say more than words ever could. That awkward tension when everyone hopes the next possession goes differently. And yes, the elephant in the room is obvious. You cannot talk about this situation honestly without mentioning LeBron. The dream of playing alongside your son is historic. It's rare, it's emotional, it's powerful. But at some point, you have to ask a tough question. When does a dream start putting pressure where development should be? Because forcing a young player into minutes he's not clearly ready for doesn't feel like development, it feels like expectation overload. It puts fans in a strange spot, it puts the team in a strange spot, and most importantly, it puts the player in a spotlight that may be way too bright, way too soon. This league is ruthless. It rewards production, it punishes weakness, and if the foundation isn't there yet, the exposure can do more harm than good. That's not personal. That's professional reality. This isn't development, this is exposure. Harsh, non-stop, magnified exposure. Every miss turns into a clip. Every bad read becomes a meme. Every awkward possession writes its own punchline. And the internet is undefeated. Right now, he's trending more for reactions than results. That's not hate, that's the reality of the spotlight he's under. Meanwhile, there are players everywhere grinding for this exact chance. Guys overseas putting up numbers in tough leagues, players dominating the G League, fighting for 10-day contracts, runs at the Drew League, Rucker Park, open gyms where the hunger is real and the stakes feel personal, dudes whose families are counting on them, dudes who know one bad stretch could close the door for good. Those guys are not shooting 1 for 12 and shrugging. They don't have that luxury. And that's why this feels different. Because for most players, this isn't a side quest, it's survival. For him, it doesn't feel like survival, it feels insulated, like a legacy add-on, like an opportunity cushioned by branding. The league will frame it as patience, as growth, as long-term investment, but the math doesn't change. A roster spot is a roster spot. Minutes are minutes. Reps are reps. When one player gets them, someone else doesn't. And let's talk about the money without getting emotional. The fact that he's set to make more than Russell Westbrook this season raises eyebrows. Westbrook, for all his chaos, is a pro. He shows up, he works, he competes hard even when it looks messy. He's earned stripes in this league. Imperfect? Absolutely. But he belongs in a professional environment because he's proven it over time. Yet somehow there's no room for veterans trying to hang on, no room for established names who've put in years of work. But there's room here. That's the quiet part people hesitate to say out loud. The standard shifts depending on the story attached.
Truthfully, he's so easy to coach. He's got a great soul and just a great energy about him that I like being around him, and I'm rooting for him.
I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this.
And yes, some teams might ease up, out of respect, out of politics, out of not wanting headlines. Nobody wants to be the franchise that embarrassed the legend's son. So maybe there's a double-digit night here or there. And when it happens, social media explodes like it's a finals performance. Clip it, post it, victory lap, ignore the full body of work. But this league has a way of correcting narratives. Film doesn't lie. Possession after possession tells the truth. You can only spin so much before the tape speaks louder than the storyline. And right now, the basketball case for him being a consistent NBA rotation player just isn't strong. So ask the real questions. Is this about basketball or branding? Is this about production or protection? Is he here because he clearly outplayed the competition, or because the story was too powerful to pass up? And here's the uncomfortable one. When LeBron eventually steps away, does this continue? Or does the protection fade with him? History usually answers those questions without mercy. The league moves fast. It keeps what produces. It discards what doesn't. That's the business. And eventually, the story has to survive without the spotlight holding it up. That's why the comment section matters. That's why this conversation matters. Not just because some of it is funny, even though it is, but because it pulls the curtain back. It shows how quickly standards can bend when money and legacy walk into the room. Bronny James might be a good kid. He might be respectful. He might be coachable. He might have a great heart. All of that can be true at the same time. But none of that automatically makes you an NBA player. This league is supposed to be about production. It's supposed to be about separation. It's supposed to be about proving night after night that you belong against the best in the world. Personality is great. Storylines are great. But skill is what keeps you on the floor. The problem isn't liking him. The problem isn't supporting him. The problem is pretending that sentiment equals qualification. When emotion starts outweighing evaluation, the game gets blurry. And when the game gets blurry, fans start feeling like they're watching a show instead of a competition. This isn't about jealousy. It's not about tearing someone down for sport. It's about honesty. The NBA markets itself as the highest level of basketball on the planet. Spots are supposed to be earned. Minutes are supposed to be fought for. Results are supposed to matter more than last names. Right now, it feels like narrative is doing more work than performance. And that doesn't just affect one player. It affects the credibility of the league. It affects the guys grinding quietly who don't have protection. It affects the message sent to every player fighting for a roster spot who gets told, it's about merit. If we can't call out what's obvious on the court, then what are we even doing? Fans aren't blind. Film doesn't lie. The scoreboard doesn't lie. When people feel like they're being told not to trust their own eyes, that's when frustration builds. So yeah, the conversation matters, not because outrage is trendy, not because clicks are fun, but because standards matter. Accountability matters. If the league wants to keep its integrity, the same rules have to apply across the board. If you're tired of double standards, tired of overpraise that doesn't match the tape, and tired of being told everything is fine when it clearly isn't, speak on it. Share the discussion. Add your voice, because nothing changes in silence. Conversations only move when people are willing to have them out loud.